So, what do you do when you fall off the bandwagon or you fall off track to your commitments? Whether it's commitment to live porn free, alcohol free, weed free, or whatever it is that you're dealing with. Well, it's going to happen. At least it happens for 99% of us. And it's actually just happened to me over the last few weeks. I smoked a joint. Then I started going, oh, well, I could smoke again, smoke again. And then next thing you know, like I'm in the pattern of like wanting to smoke all the time. And dealing with weed has been a struggle for me, or a battle, I should say. I don't want to say a struggle because overall, actually, if I look back, I've been doing a lot better and I've been generally clean. But just over the last few weeks, I fell into that pattern. And this morning I got up and I just felt super sad and I felt like disappointed in myself and frustrated. And it's funny, nothing crazy or out of the ordinary's happened or anything like that. But other than I know that this is not me at my best. And I know that I feel the best when I'm operating at my best and I'm executing my day. And I feel like life can't overwhelm me with its challenges. One of the first things I'll notice when I'm smoking is that things start to feel overwhelming to me. So I'm like, oh my God, the amount of work I have, or whatever challenges we're facing, the renovations we're doing. We have a lot of projects on the go. As soon as I can feel it flip over where that is no longer exciting and I feel like I'm dominating it, I know that I've gone too far with any of my vices. And I really only have this one, which is that I consider is smoking dope. So anyways, I want to talk a little bit about what you can do when you do fall off the bandwagon with whatever vices you're dealing with or whatever challenges you may be dealing with, and some techniques to get right back into it. Let's get into it. Hi, my name is Nikula Das, and I help men master their sexual energy and 10 times your impact and income through our Powerhouse Man Development Coaching Program, through our Sexual Alchemy Program. I am so proud of the work that we've done. We've helped over 2,000 men over 2 years with all of our different programs, trainings, and offerings and live events. I'm so grateful to be doing this work. And I'm so grateful that we've created an honest space where guys can be, like I'm being honest with you guys right now. That's why I've always been like, I'm not pure. I'm not a saint. I'm not, perfect. I think it's important that we're truthful about where we're at and we continue to strive to get better. And so that's the first thing. By the way, if you're interested, go and take the free sex transmutation guide. The link is in the descriptions below. And that gets you started into the Nikula Das training grounds and the different offerings that I have. So what do you do when you fall off the bandwagon? Well, the first thing is be truthful about it. Most of you won't get on YouTube and do a video about it, but that's me, and actually this is kind of like a therapy for me. This is me being honest about it, which is the first step. This is the first thing you got to do is give yourself high accountabilities. Tell people around you. So I'm telling, the entire community here, say, hey, look, like if I can get on YouTube and admit that I fell off the bandwagon for the last few weeks, then you can also at least bare minimum admit it to yourself. And that's the most important person you have to be honest with. It's when you're bullshitting yourself and it gets into danger territory, because now you're lying to yourself and you're making excuses and you're justifying it. And that's what you need to stop doing. You need to stop justifying, stop telling yourself whatever story that you're telling yourself, you can live without it, you can outperform it, you can do it, and just get brutally honest again. Once you get brutally honest again, then you're brutally honest and you're dealing with the reality now. So now you're back in reality and you're going, okay, then this is where I take a look at the positives and say, well, wait a sec. So before I beat myself up too much, let me also take a step back and look at my overall successes. How have I done so far? And overall, this is a little blimp in the radar in my journey. You know what I mean? 2-3 weeks of smoking a little bit of dope here and there, that type of thing is really not a big deal. But because I'm feeling the pain of it and I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed. See, that's one of the symptoms when you're caught up in vices and you're not operating at your best, is that you'll feel like life is overwhelming you. The challenges is bigger than you because your energy is depleted. That's what happens when you don't live an energy positive life. When I mean energy positive, it's not like, just be positive, think positive, because that could also be bullshit too. A lot of thinking positive is escapism. I could also think positive about this and be like, well, I'm still doing good. But the reality is I have to be truthful, not positive, truthful. And a lot of life is positive. So if you're truthful, most of your life will be positive. But one of the things I know for myself, maybe you can relate. How do you know? And this is just a good question to, maybe leave it in the comments just to really anchor it into your mind as a point of awareness. How do you know when you are going way off track or you've strayed from the path in which you've dedicated yourself to? You should really know that and be, again, truthful. So once you're truthful, then step back and say, okay, let's look at also the positives though. And again, when I look at it, just as I'm thinking about it and reflecting on it, it's a blimp in my radar. Overall, I'm doing fantastic. My workouts have been good. My eating has been good. My meditations have been good. My practices have been good. Generally, I am doing well. However, this is not congruent with the way my commitments to myself, to my community, and ultimately to God. So therefore, I can't let it slide. But generally, I can say I'm in a good place, and I'm grateful for that. So get real about your situation as well. It's not all negative. It never is. And it's not all positive. It generally never is, right? It's normally somewhere in between. And that's life, And so, no, don't make a big deal out of it too, right? That's the key, is that you don't overemphasize and make some drama out of falling off the bandwagon. Just be like, okay, I'm off, hands up, got it, you caught me, I'm here. Now, time to get back on the bandwagon. And that's why it's so important. I talk about this inside of and this is largely what protects me, is routines and rituals. You see, I really understand, even from a firsthand experience, how important routines and rituals are in our life, because they protect us. They're a protection mechanism. When we have positive routines and rituals, then we protect ourselves from doing sort of the crappy stuff, the stuff that that are not congruent with our vision or who we want to be. And so what I looked at is, okay, where have I fallen off certain routines and rituals? Definitely one thing that shifted is I'm sleeping in more, which makes sense. The more energy depleted you are, the more you have to sleep. So you'll notice, like, when people are sick, they sleep more, right? Because your body in sleep restores, repairs, and rebuilds. So therefore, the more you need to restore, repair, and rebuild, what you're simultaneously saying is the more damaged you are. So therefore, you have to sleep more, right? So first thing that I'm doing is tossing out the dope, right? Whatever I have left goes down the toilet, gets flushed out. Then tonight, back onto routines and rituals. And because I'm pretty solid in them, it's just a matter for me at this point. It's just a matter of making that decision. Now, for you might need a higher accountability to get you back on track. You might have to say, you know what, now I got to go tell my support group. And by the way, if you don't have a support group, that's why you should have a support group. That's why we've got an entire system and training program, as when you join our sexual alchemy training and you learn these techniques of sex transmutation, you get an entire support group to connect with for this exact moment, for these exact times. So do that. Have that support group. Tell them this is what you're doing. Hold yourself accountable to some positive people around you. Don't go to the negative Nancy or the person who just makes a drama out of everything, and because they're not going to be able to help you. They're going to make a drama out of it. Just go to the person who's very grounded and say, this is the situation. This is where I'm at. And they'll, slap you back up. This is why I say they slap you back up. They might give you a smack or two. They'll hug you. They'll say, I love you. Then they'll smack you because they also love you. You see, that's the thing. Love these days is often just the sentimental part. I love you. I nurture you. But the masculine love is, I'm also going to smack you and say, you can do better. I expect more of you. I expect you to step up, and you get back on track. And I'm going to hold you accountable to that. The person that loves you is holding you accountable to the best version of yourself. The person who just wants you to make them feel comfortable, they're going to not hold you to the best version of yourself. They're going to hold you to the version which makes them comfortable, which is often where they're at, not where you want to be at. So be very conscious about who you're asking for help and what they're capable of. Don't go to the addict and get their advice on addiction, right? They're going to only tell you what they're comfortable. They're going to justify it. Someone who's not an addict, who's living vice-free, they don't justify it. Because they're like, no, like, that's stupid. Why would you take poison? And that's where you got to get real again. So that's what I'm doing. I'm admitting it. I'm being truthful about it. I'm not making a big deal out of it. I still know overall I'm rocking it in life, and I'm going to continue to rock it in life. And now I'm committing back to clean living, back to, the standards and the levels of performance and mind that I'm used to working with, which also I want to continue to expand and grow. So let me know if you've dropped off the bandwagon. Send me a message. Let me know. I'd be happy to be that guy for you that can help you get back on track. If you're ready to take it to the next level, get a support group, learn the sexual alchemy trainings, then reach out to me. Let's connect. You can book a call on my calendar. You can also take advantage of the free sex transmutation guide and get started right away. All right, guys, I appreciate your support. I'll see you in the next video.